Is it your real name?
People would just naturally call me Queen.
What inspired you to move here?
I had to get out of there. I became an American.
Have you ever felt like you have been treated differently than other people?
And no one understands me. People constantly telling me what to do.
What was the hardest for you here in immigration?
So I was working so hard. You literally have nothing.
Why did you go to the army?
I was so scared. Like, I don't have a plan B. I have to make it.
What does Jamaica have that United States doesn't?
So the American dream is kind of a lie, but not really.
Do you miss Jamaica?
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
Hi, Queen Jordi.
Hi.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for having me.
Can I ask you a question? Is it your real name?
So my real name is Jordi Brown, but I just go by Queen Jordi. Like,
Why Queen? No, you look like a queen, but...
Oh, thank you. So the name Queen, I feel like it's been given to me. People would just naturally call me Queen, and then Jordi is the shortening of my name. Jordi is the shortening of my name, Jordine.
Okay.
So when I was in tech school, I got my first tattoo, which was this queen right here. And then I feel like ever since then, I changed my Instagram name to Queen Jordi, and it's been a wrap ever since.
That's amazing. I love it. You know,
Thank you.
Queen Jordi. And you look like a queen.
Oh, thank you so much. You too.
Oh, thank you. I prefer to say to my husband, I look like a queen.
You do.
I want to hear about your journey from Jamaica to the United States. What inspired you to move here?
Okay, so I moved here with family. My grandmother was living in the States for many, many years, and she filed paperwork for my mom and her sisters and their children to move in the United States, to move to the United States. I feel like the reason was to have a better life, to have more opportunities. So when I was 18, I moved from Jamaica, moved to Connecticut, actually.
Why Connecticut?
So that's where my grandma lived.
Wait, your grandma moved and then your mom moved, right?
Yes,
And you
yes.
lived by yourself in Jamaica?
No, so when I was in Jamaica, I lived in a family home with my mom, my sister, uncles, cousins.
Oh, so many people in
aunts.
one house?
Yes, that's my culture.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of my culture consists of like people living in like extended family homes. So we always have community. A lot of uncles and aunts and cousins. I grew up with all my cousins, some younger, some older. You always had a cousin to play with.
I would love to go to Jamaica. It's
Oh
so
my God, you should.
I should?
Yes.
I will. I promise I will.
You can come with me, okay?
Yeah? Are
Yeah.
you inviting?
Yeah, that's an
There
invitation.
you go. I'm going to Jamaica, guys. Bye. So you moved here when you were 18 years old.
Yes.
What surprised you the most here?
The first surprise I got, and probably I'm still shocked by it, was how cold it was. So I only saw snow on the TV growing up in Jamaica, and it looked so cool. Snow angels and cute outfits. But when I got to Connecticut, and I actually moved from Jamaica in August. So by the time I left from like hot, summery climate to...
And it was still cold for you?
Oh my God, I was freezing. I was so cold.
In the summer?
I feel like even now I'm cold.
Now you're cold.
I'm always cold because I grew up in a hot climate. I didn't have AC growing up.
So your body kind of used to it.
Yes, my body is definitely used to like a tropical climate. which was why, like, when I got sent to Guam, when I was in the Air Force, I got sent to Guam. I was very happy in Guam because Guam is an island. It's hot. I
have so many places to visit, I guess, right?
Yes.
Why did you go to the army?
So I was in the Air Force, actually.
Air Force?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, Air Force. She's so brave. Why did you decide to go to Air Force?
So a couple years after living in Connecticut, I decided like I had to get out of there.
So it was the only way to get out of the Connecticut, go to the Air Force?
So I felt like that was my best option because at the time I was working full time. I had like 2 different jobs. I was also in school.
What did you do? What kind of jobs did you have?
My first job was KFC.
KFC? Cool.
I started off as a cashier and then I became a shift manager. So I worked at KFC and I also had a job at Olympia Sports.
Okay.
Which is like a sports store. They sell like jerseys and equipment. So I was working so hard and I was in school at the same time. Because when you move from a different country to the US, nothing is handed to you. You literally have nothing.
Yep.
And so I had to figure it out. I didn't have a support system to like hand me anything. So I decided like the best way for me to get on my feet is to join the military. And so I just did it.
What kind of benefits do they provide to you if you join the military here in the United States?
That's a good question. So I do have education benefits.
Education?
Yes.
Do they pay for the whole education or you have some discounts? How does it work?
So it depends on if you left the military with honorable discharge, which I did. And it also depends on how long you stayed in the military. So if you have 100% education benefits, that mean that they would pay for your full tuition. And I'm actually in school right now, so.
For how long do you have to be in the army?
In the Air Force? So I'm not sure, but I know that probably like 3 years.
3 years.
But don't quote me though.
For how long have you been?
How long have I been out?
In the army.
Or how long I was in the Air Force?
For how long?
So I was in for a little bit under 4 years.
Under 4 years, okay.
Almost 4 years.
And you got all these benefits. It was enough to get these benefits.
Yes,
right?
I do have education benefits and I also have like health benefits. Like I get to go to the VA whenever I need to go to the doctor. I literally pay like $5 or less for a visit.
But do you receive some like pension or no?
So it depends on if you have like different disabilities from the military. So as a disabled veteran, you do get paid each month. Yeah.
What about the housing? Do they help you with the housing?
They do have different housing benefits. So when you are buying a house, you get like a special discounted VA rate. Yes, I'm renting right now though.
Okay.
But I did buy a house at one point back in my old life. And I did
life. You're still young.
And I did use my VA housing benefits. I forgot what that's called, but yeah, I did get special advantage. I did have advantages because I am a veteran when I was purchasing the home, and I still will if I decide to buy another home.
So it doesn't matter how many homes you buy.
I am not quite sure, but I do know that I have at least 2 homes that I would get that benefit.
What was the hardest for you here in immigration?
Like the immigration process?
No, like in life.
Just moving from a different country?
Them. Yeah, both of them.
Okay.
In the process and in life.
So the immigration process for me was long and draining. So I found out that I was going to be moving to America when I was like 10 years old. The process took at least 8 years 8 years.
8 years.
For everything to come through.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So it took a long time. It was really hard, like leaving everything behind. Because when I left, I was like a year out of high school.
friends?
Yeah, I already did the first year of college, or sixth form as it's called in Jamaica. That would be the equivalent of a community college in America. So I already did 1 year of that. If I had done the other year, I would have my associates. And so I left at an awkward time. When I first moved to America, my family tried to get me to enter high school again to see if I could like do 1 more year in high school. But I was 18 already, so
You didn't want to?
no, they didn't allow me to do that. So
Did you want to?
I wanted to, because I felt like it would have given me more opportunities. I was thinking of like scholarships, and because I always know that I'm a good student. So I'm here, the opportunity's here. I would have capitalized off it and gotten a scholarship or something.
What did you do?
What did I do? I started community college and I got 2 jobs.
Again?
Yes, that's what I
2
did.
jobs. Okay,
Yeah.
so those 2 jobs you mentioned, right?
Yes.
And for how long did you work there?
So I worked at KFC for over 2 years. That was the last job I had before I left for the military.
Okay.
But I worked at different KFCs. I started off at one that was really close to my home. Then when I became a shift manager, they sent me to Main Street. Then after that,
What does it mean to Main Street?
Main Street, they sent me to a different location that was like in the middle of Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Main Street, Connecticut, and Main
not
Street,
good?
Bridgeport. No.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I saw your face.
No, I did not like that. And probably because I was a manager too, and I started off as a cashier. And when you are a manager at KFC, you are in charge of old people, young people, all different types of people. And KFC is a very like low entry job. You don't need any specific qualifications. So every type of people is there. And I was so soft. I was so scared. I probably didn't have any bass in my voice. I was very nice. And I still had a very strong accent. So, it was hard navigating that.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to be kind and soft, but yeah, I know what you mean. By the way, I have a question about the military. Did you get your citizenship through military?
No.
No? Do they help you with this?
So yes. So they do. Well, actually, so I moved to America with my green card. I had my green card. But then, yes, I actually did get my citizenship in the military. They had the option, and I chose that, yes, I would love to get my citizenship. And then I had to study for the test while I was in basic training. Yes. And I had all my, like everybody that was in my flight, all my wingmen, we call them, all my wingmen were helping me study. And I remember I went and I took the test and I passed, and at graduation, that was when I swore in with a bunch of other people that were also getting their citizenship. And I did it, y'all. I became an American.
Do you miss Army?
If I miss the Air Force, no.
No?
No, I actually don't miss it at all. I do miss things about it. I miss the stability of it. Because when you're in the military, everything is paid for already. You get a steady paycheck each month. Everything is really like so easy. If you have a problem, you tell your supervisor, everyone fixes your problem for you. You're really taken care of in the military.
Okay, that's good.
So I do miss that about it. But I don't miss people constantly telling me what to do. I don't miss having to follow all these rules. Like, I'm very, I would say, eccentric.
Independent.
And very artistic. And I love to express myself how I feel. And in the military, you can't just be yourself, and I didn't like that.
My husband used to be in the military.
Oh.
Yes. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you have to follow the orders. There is no space for your desires or for
Yes. And the mission comes
your creativity. Yeah, the mission comes
Definitely.
first. That's what military is for, actually.
Yes. I know. I felt like, I don't know if you've ever watched Legally Blonde.
Mm-mm.
That first day when Elle Woods went to law school, that's how I felt when I was in the military.
I will watch after. That's how you feel?
Yes, I was so girly, so sweet, like, hi guys, and everybody's like,
Are you tough right now?
I feel like I'm definitely tougher than I used to be. Like before I joined the military, like I could do like 3 push-ups. And mentally, I would say I wasn't as strong as I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to learn over the years, especially through the military, to be tough and to work for what I want and to have a lot of discipline. Yeah.
So you have some good stuff in your
Yeah, it taught me a lot.
What happened when you left military?
When I left the military, that's actually a story I never tell, but since it's coming up. So the military changed their rule after I was in.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the AFI, which is basically like different rules and articles that we're guided by.
Okay.
And it changed to where women that are pregnant and you have up until a year after your baby is born, you could choose to get out of the military.
So you still can get pregnant while you are in military?
Yeah, and I got married in the military too.
Oh, yeah? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when
Divorced now though. Yeah. However, I did get married in the military. And so when that rule or AFI changed and I had the option to choose to get out if I wanted to, and you get out with the honorable discharge too. So I chose to get out. And I got out at 3 years and like 9 months.
Okay.
Or 3 years and 8-ish months. If I had waited a couple more months, I would have 100% education benefit. But because I left a couple months short of that cutoff, I have 90%.
Why didn't you wait?
I didn't wait because I was married at the time, and my ex-husband and I, we were about to get sent to South Dakota. He was in the military as well.
Okay.
So I didn't want to have to go to South Dakota and then in process into a new base just to start the process of getting out the military.
You were married, right?
Yes, I was
So
married.
if your husband goes, you go too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Because I know in Ukraine, your husband can go somewhere and they can send you somewhere.
Oh, no. Here, when you're moving from one duty station to the next, your whole family goes. So if you have...
I know, but if I wouldn't be in military, yes.
Oh.
But if you are in military and he was in the military, you know, that's what I mean.
Oh. So
Both of you.
Yeah. So we actually got our orders before my process went through, before my separation. So we both together got sent to South Dakota. But after the process came through, I realized it's better to get out of the military while I was in Guam. I didn't want to have to in process in a new base in South Dakota just to do the process to get out in South Dakota, because I had a six-month-old daughter at the time. So
when you joined the army, they sent you to Guam right away, or how does it work?
So when I joined the Air Force, I went to basic training in Texas, Lackland Air Force Base in Texas. Because my job was dental tech, my tech school, where I learned to be a dental tech, is also in Texas. It's in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And I was in Houston for like 3.5 months. After Houston, then I got my orders to Guam. So I went from Houston to Guam, and that's where I was until South Dakota.
South Dakota changed everything. Changed her life.
Literally. That's not a lie.
What happened next?
So after that, I had a very small baby. She was 6 months old. Right before I got out of the military, I started thinking, like, what can I do from home? I didn't want to just stay home and be a mom, even though that was the agreement my ex-husband and I had. But like, I'm from Jamaica. I like to be active. I like to.
Are the people active?
I would say so. I would say so. Yeah. And I'm just a very ambitious person, and I love to create. But I didn't know what I was gonna do after I got out of the Air Force. I know that I was gonna be a mom. But one day I was in a Facebook group with military wives, and someone asked the question, what can I do from home? What are good work from home jobs? And I was scrolling, reading through the comments, and somebody wrote, I make jewelry. And then the idea popped in my mind, like, what? I used to make jewelry in Jamaica.
Oh, you did?
Yes, that was like my favorite childhood hobby.
So there you go.
So I started, once that light bulb moment went off, I literally just started doing my research, and I literally used my last military paycheck and bought a bunch of inventory. And that's how my jewelry business started.
That's amazing. When did you sell them for the first time?
So initially, when I first started, I would just sell it online. And
on Instagram? Or?
No, I created my website. I didn't even know anything about building websites, but I figured it out.
By yourself?
Yes. I was like, I need a website. And then I was looking at the benefits of having an Etsy versus having a website. And after doing some research, I decided, like, I need a website, but I couldn't afford to, like, pay for that. So I had to figure it out. So I created my first website, and I started advertising to a lot of the people that I knew before, people from the military. Because before I left, I had already started telling people, I'm going to have a jewelry business.
See? Listen to her. She knows what she's doing. Great job.
Thank you.
So you proposed it to the people you knew. Then, and then you realized you have to go on social media, or?
So I was already on social media.
Okay.
I was already on social media. I feel like I've always loved social media. And I've always loved expressing myself. That's what I love about social media. I genuinely love making content and videos, and I love taking pictures and videos and all that. So social media for me was always a thing, even before I started my jewelry business.
Because you look so good on pictures. Look at her.
Thank
right?
you.
She's a model.
So I actually am a model now. Yeah. I've been modeling since I moved to Phoenix. For like a couple years now, I started my modeling journey, and that's when I started incorporating my jewelry with the modeling. I'm like, why not?
It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I love this moon.
Thank you so much.
That's beautiful.
All
right?
handmade by me.
It's by you.
Yes.
I love it. I love them.
Thank you.
So cute. How does it work right now?
With my jewelry business?
With your jewelry business.
So now I'm in Phoenix. I do a lot of fashion shows, and I do a lot of pop-up shops or events where I go and I sell my jewelry in person. I also sell online, and my jewelry is in one store right now, but my goal is by next year's summer, I want my jewelry to be in at least 5 different stores.
Great.
In Arizona.
In Arizona?
Yes.
Are you planning to sell them all over the United States, or like all over the world?
Yes, actually, I want to have a jewelry collection in Jamaica, right? I'm just trying to figure out where exactly. I would love to have it in like a hotel gift shop or somewhere classy.
Yeah, dream big, why not, right?
Definitely, yes.
Awesome. Do you miss Jamaica?
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
You can cry. Do you miss?
So I actually do miss Jamaica. Last year, the end of last year, I went back to Jamaica for the first time in 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And then I went again a couple months ago. After I went back last year, I decided, wow, I'll never stay away that long again. Yeah. It really changed me because I reconnected with my dad's side of the family, and I didn't grow up with my dad.
Okay.
So, and my dad's side of the family has a lot of masculine energy. So I have a lot of uncles and my dad is very much there, and a lot of cousins, older cousins, and they really embraced me. And I felt at home. I stayed with my uncle. I didn't want for anything.
Did you want to come back to the United States?
Oh my God, no. I literally cried.
Really?
And especially the last time I went, which is a couple months ago, I got back and I thought I was fine. But then my uncle called me the next day and I was like, "Hi, Uncle." He's like, "I could hear it in your voice. It's okay. You're okay." And I just started crying. Because I feel like what really hit me about coming back is all these responsibilities.
I know.
In Jamaica, it's very relaxed, very much go with the flow, good vibes. Everybody's laughing, and my culture is very much good vibes, good energy all day long. But America is way more like structured, way more go, go, go. You gotta get this money, you gotta this, you gotta... So yeah, definitely culture shock.
Yeah, I know, I can relate. I haven't been to Ukraine for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Since I came, yeah.
When are you going back?
When the war is over, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, I was planning to go in 2022, but the war started, so it was a bummer.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know yet. Do you have any funny story related to your immigration? Maybe something happened to you funny because of your language, misunderstanding. Can you remember?
Oh my God. Okay, so the first thing that pops into my mind, when I got my first job of working at KFC, I was so stressed because I didn't understand the currency. I didn't know a quarter, dime, dollar. I was so stressed. And my first job was a cashier. I wasn't trained.
It's already funny.
They literally like threw me on the register, and I'm already bad at math. So people would like give me $20 and then they're like, "Oh, I got change."
Oh, they just want to give you change so you don't have to give them change.
Yes, and then I'm already confused, like trying to figure out how much change they need back, and then I'm trying to convert that to the US currency. I swear, every single day when it was time for them to check my register before I left, I was sweating. Because I swear, and then I started going home. I got some dimes, quarters.
I just realized it would be me, you know? It's scary.
I was so stressed and scared. And I would go home and actually count quarters and dimes and nickels and figure out, okay, this is a quarter, this is 25 cents, it looks like this. And I had to practice because that was very, very stressful.
You gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Definitely. And there was a language barrier too, because my accent was very, very strong. And
did you have any funny situation with your language when you said something?
I feel like people would always ask me to repeat myself.
Oh yeah, it's my story all the time. I can relate.
People knew I was from Jamaica immediately.
Were you scared when people asked you to repeat?
No, I didn't take it personal. I know a lot of immigrants feel bad when other people ask, "Where are you from?" I don't take it personal because I think if somebody's asking me that, they want to know.
I want to ask the viewers, if you are the immigrants, can you leave the comment under this video if you are afraid to speak in English? I really want to know. And can you advise something to the people who are afraid to speak in your camera?
I would say just do it and just express yourself the best way you know how. Because the people for you, they will be attracted to your energy and who you are, and it's gonna all come together. Like, not only was I an immigrant, but I also stuttered really badly growing up. So I was really bad at speaking. I would always get so afraid. I was that child when my teacher would call on me in class to read something. That was like the worst thing ever. And I practiced a lot. I watch a lot of like inspirational videos of other people that overcame their issues, and I was inspired. Then I feel like when I joined the military, I had to be brave. I could no longer say I can't. I had to figure it out. And I feel like when you do different things that are brave, you become more and more fearless, and then you're not afraid of things like you used to be.
Have you ever felt like you have been treated differently than other people just because you're an immigrant?
And I was going through a lot of trying to figure out my identity, being from Jamaica and having to fit into the U.S. culture. I had to change my language because if I'm speaking with an accent, no one understands me. And it gets really frustrating being in school, trying to do presentations and no one understands you.
Yep.
You know, and then I feel like some people can look down on you if they feel like you have an accent and if they don't really understand you. So I learned that. So I had to learn how to speak so others could understand me. I mean, I've definitely had a couple experiences that were less than positive, but I do choose to focus on the positives. I feel like a lot of people don't understand, and when you don't understand something, you may react differently to it. I feel like I've met way more people that have been genuinely interested in me and my story, and they want to know about Jamaica. So I really don't dwell on the one or two people that were ignorant over the years.
Okay, that's cool. What does Jamaica have that United States doesn't?
The vibes, the culture, what?
What kind of question is that,
the
right?
food, everything.
Everything?
But I know people will be like, if it has everything, then why are you here? So what's here that's not in Jamaica is the opportunities.
Okay.
And I feel like in America, if you have the drive, you can accomplish anything. So the American dream is kind of a lie, but not really. Like if you can work the hardest and be the hardest worker, and if you can network and meet the right people, and there are ways for you to climb to the top. It may not be like immediately. Like I had to join the military. I had to go through so many different phases. And I'm still going through my different phases now. But I am committed to my path, being a jewelry designer and a model, and this is what I want. And like, I don't have a plan B. I have to make it. So, but in Jamaica, you could have all these dreams, but if there's no opportunity, you know?
I get it.
So,
Yeah, that's interesting. How do you feel about the immigration right now? Is it harder or it's easier, the whole process right now?
So I feel like based on what I've been seeing on my For You page on social media, to my understanding, the process of immigration is harder now. Yeah.
Than it was before, right?
Yes.
What would you change in the whole process of immigration?
I feel like I would change like how transparent things are. I don't feel like it's very transparent. I feel like a lot of people are in the waiting process. They don't know what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen.
I feel like they give an approximate time, but still it shifts, right?
Yes.
You never know.
Yes. I wish there was a system that we could go on as people immigrating from other countries, and we can look and track where it's at right now. Even if it's 10 years away, you being able to see what's happening will help you to plan your life better. Because a lot of people, by the time their papers come through, they are just...
But it changes a lot.
It does change a lot,
10
too.
years.
That's true.
Everything is changing, and right now everything is changing so fast. I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
The whole life is flying. The whole situation is changing.
Yes.
Everything is... I feel like the life is going like so fast right now. And it used to be before, maybe because I'm getting older. I don't know, but I just feel the whole political situation, the whole world is changing.
Yes, everything is changing rapidly, and especially for the United States in the next 4 years. Like, we don't know what is, like, how it's really about to change.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
how do you see yourself in 10 years? What is your biggest dream?
In 10 years, I see myself as being like a leader in the jewelry industry.
I love it.
I need everyone in the world to know about Queen Jordi Gems Jewelry.
Queen Jordi.
Yes, and I also
Remember that name, please.
Queen Jordi Gems. And I also see myself like doing just big modeling things and paving my own way in the modeling industry, like making it me expressing myself through my jewelry.
Like your own brand.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I love it. I think we're good here, right?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to share?
No, this was very
You like
perfect.
It? Okay, I like it. Everything you said. I never had anyone from army.
Yeah.
That's why I really like it.
Oh,
It's really cool.
yeah,
Thank you for
I really
sharing.
love this.
Because
Thank you.
I don't know anything about it. And I guess a lot of people don't know, right? So it's very interesting to hear it from you.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Of course, you look so good for being in the army.
Thank you.
How many
Girly girls can be in the army too.
How many push-ups?
Or Air Force.
How many push-ups you can do right now?
Right now, so I do have an injury from the military. So I injured my wrist.
How did you do
doing push-ups.
I'm doing push-ups?
Yeah, so I do have a little cyst right here. But so I don't really, when I do push-ups, I do them on my knuckles. But I'm not that good.
I feel like you can do more than I can.
I don't know.
But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story, for inspiring us. And
thank you for having me. This is fun.